That's why I work every day. I'll be making money till I'm in my grave. Don't care what they say.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Shots Fired Podcast. Happy Easter. Happy Easter, everybody. Yeah, it's been a crazy week this week. It's definitely been one for the books. I could tell you all that. It's been a wild one. A lot of things have happened. We got the Diddy files. I guess we call it that now. The Diddler. The cargo ship that hit the pillar and knocked the bridge down in Baltimore. Another fire underneath of a bridge in Ohio. A lot of stuff going on. But this week, I think there's a lot I wanted to talk about, and I try not to make these too long. So this week we're going to talk about the Baltimore Bridge, the Dolly, the ship. And I'm just going to talk about this because there's something about it that just ain't right to me. Like, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. And there's so many different questions I have and different things. And I've tried to do as much research as I can. And it's just like a lot of stuff. It's just like, I can't just turn away from this one and chalk it up as an accident. And I know things do happen. Accidents do happen. But I don't know. There definitely was a way that we could have, not we, but this probably could have been prevented. I guarantee you that. We don't know all the facts yet. We don't know everything. But from what we do know, it's a little crazy. A little bit. And along with that, I'm not a professional. I'm not an expert in any of this kind of stuff. I know a little bit about it, but I'm not an expert. But I'm just kind of share with you kind of what I think and what, kind of an experience, I guess you could say, that I have went through myself. Some of y'all will know what I'm talking about. To just kind of like, this is why things need to change, why things need to be different and safer around the board, right? So obviously we know the Dolly hit the bridge collapsed, people lost their lives. Very bad. Condolences to all the families that have lost somebody. I'm sorry. But let's get into this. So we know the ship was coming out of port, was leaving, lost power twice. Lost power. I don't know if it was emergency backup kicked on or they got the power back up and lost it again, right? So first question to me is, how fast was it moving before it lost power? Because it seemed like it was a little bit off course whenever it was making its way out before it lost power. Do I know for a fact? I don't know. I'm going to try to post something right here that shows like the course it was taking. But so how fast was it going? I've been trying to figure that out, look it up. I know those ships cannot go that fast. I know there is a certain speed when you're in those channels you got to stay under. You can't be, driving crazy. A lot of people are saying, where are the tugboats at? So from what I understand, there was tugboats. They have already detached at this point, right? So got off the pier, and the tugboats got it off, spun it around because it has to do a U-turn to come back to go out the channel. And once it, the ship gets lined up in the channel and straight enough, usually tugboats will break off. Now, I don't know what the rules are for that port. Are the tugboats supposed to follow it or stay with it as it transits through? They probably should have, and that will probably be a new thing that's put into place if that's not already a thing. But obviously, as we know, that the tugboats were not there when it happened. But also they had two pilots on board. So what a pilot is, if you don't know, is somebody that comes on that's very knowledgeable about that port of entry. Tells you where you can go, where you can't go, how fast you need to go around, when to start making certain turns, everything about that port, transiting in and out, they know about it. So they had 2 of them on board when this happened. So, and they're not going to stop, a collision from happening or anything like that. So don't think that's one thing that went wrong. They're just there to guide the ship, to tell the ship's master, the person in charge of it, where to go, what to do. Not necessarily actions to take if something like this happens. Because something like this happens, it's ultimately on the ship's master and the crew. They need to know what to do. But that goes along with, right, all the different things I was looking into, because this can go down a wormhole really fast, and it's about to. We're about to take a little trip down this road, and it's gonna make you think, what actually is going on here? It's really sunny this morning. I got the sun come through the window. You see the lines on my shirt. It's gonna be a nice day today. Y'all enjoy it too. But anyways. Lost power, right? Power kicked back on, lost power again, hit the bridge, boom. So my thing was, how fast was it going to make the whole damn bridge? Not the whole bridge, but a lot of it fall down, right? Had to be going super fast. Not super fast, but, and then I kind of thought about it. Okay, was the bridge actually up to, was it really well maintained? I see they were doing construction on it when it happened. But who knows what they were working on? Maybe they were just fixing potholes or something. We don't know. I'm sure people do know what the status of the bridge was before. I think they said it was, what they call it? Not proficient, but it was something else. But they said it was up to par, something like that, right? Which we know that's probably not true, because we've had other bridges in the past collapse just with having vehicles on them. So we already know how the roads are in America. They're not the best. So maybe that's part of the reason why it fell down so smooth. And I keep seeing these things about there was many explosions on the bridge. I don't know if that was actually explosions, because that kind of stuff does happen when metal gets hot enough, that there's friction. Sparks are going to happen if things snap, metal getting super hot, super fast from the warp of it snapping. There's going to be, I don't think it was explosions. But I will say this. So they say it's 2 minutes from the time they sent out their first distress call to it hit the bridge, right? 2 minutes. How it got to the construction crew that fast and they shut down traffic on the bridge is kind of sketchy to me. Now, if it really did go through the proper channels and it relayed to them, because think about it, right? They called out a distress call on the radio. I'm sure the dude showing the ship where to go, the pilot, probably called some people like, hey, we're about to crash. Something, right? So it went from the ship, probably to the port, probably to the Coast Guard, probably to emergency services, probably listened to that channel along the port there. They probably, so they can hear the ship traffic coming in and out. So if they need something happens, they can go help. If it went to them, emergency services, whoever, probably had to, now think about it, this is the middle of the night, had to reach out to that construction crew's company, whether it was city, like a regular city construction crew that worked for the city or the county, however they do it there, or if it was it's like a subcontracted company that works for them. They had to reach out to that company. That company had to pick up, oh shit, there might be a ship hitting the bridge. I have construction workers on that bridge. Let me call them and tell them shut the bridge down. Call the construction workers, hey, shut the bridge down. The ship's going to hit the pier. And they successfully stopped the traffic from coming across. I don't know. I mean, if it did work out that way, good job. That's super fast. That's crazy. But to me, I don't think that's what happened. Unless, only other thing I could think of is the construction crew had a radio listening to that for some reason. I don't know why they would do that, but maybe that's what they do there. I don't know. Listening to that channel and heard the distress call and was like, oh shoot, they took it upon themselves to shut down the bridge because they didn't want anybody coming across whenever it hit. If that would have happened, I don't even know if they would have shut the bridge down. Like, that's a big call to make. I don't know. It could have happened. I'm not saying it didn't. It could have happened. Or they already knew that ship was going to hit the fucking bridge. Did they know the whole bridge was going to come down? No. Did they do it? Do I think they did it to hurt people? No. If it is that kind of an attack, I'm not going to say what it is, but if it is that kind of attack, it was probably a financial attack. Not to hurt people, but to collapse part of the economy. Because let's think about this, right? And there's already multiple things that put this thing into motion. But that port is the biggest import, so the most vehicles from overseas go into that port in the United States. Cars, farming equipment, fuel goes through there, trading goods, like all this stuff goes into there. And just think about it. Now that's shut down because ships can't go in or can't come out. So ships that are in there that are scheduled to go somewhere else are stuck. Ships that are scheduled to pull in there can't come in there. So they have to redirect them to a different port. That's going to cost more money to go there. That's going to cost America more money to buy this stuff. It's going to cost, you're going to see until they get this open, we're going to start having less of things that we need that get imported through there. Prices are going to go up. Everything's going to go up. So it was like an economic kind of thing. Not to necessarily hurt people, but the port alone, every day it's closed, it loses a couple $100 million a day. Just think about that. A couple $100 million a day. That if you don't understand that that's going to make everything else in the country go up, you got to reevaluate yourself. $1 million, a couple $100 million a day. Think about that. It's an economic collapse, right? They're trying to pull it down. And going down this wormhole, not saying it's accurate, not saying it's true. Well, it is true, but not saying what it actually is. Think about this. The ship's master, the one that's in charge of the ship, the one that's driving it, right? The one that is in charge of everything pretty much, is Ukrainian. He's from Ukraine. If you looked on certain platforms, you would see that certain things, I can't post it or I would. And I can't even post what they said because it's very bad. So, I mean, I'll try to paraphrase it real quick. But certain platforms, things was posted about this event. And it was planned by said country because we're stalling on helping finance this war that is happening over there. And if we continue, more things will happen, along with other countries will be affected as well. So, I would post what I saw, but I can't because it will get taken down. I'll probably get in some trouble. So I can't do that. But that's kind of paraphrasing what it said to the best that I can without getting in trouble, maybe with YouTube or whoever. So think about that. And then there's another kind of, you can't not think about it. The CEO of that company that owned the ship, I don't want to say mysteriously, but mysteriously died, drowned in her car on private property, not even a month, about a month, a little around a month before this happened. So Think about the CEO of this company. She mysteriously unalived, stuck in her car, drove into a lake on private property, and passed away. Not even a month before this happened. It's something you got to kind of look into. Like, you got to be, okay, let's connect some dots here. Is it anything? Is it nothing? Probably. It's probably nothing. But you got to look at it. Just think about that, right? To me, it's you can't unsee that, right? So here's some other things. So they say they dropped anchor, which did they or didn't they? I don't know. On the port side, that's the left side of the ship. If they dropped anchor and that anchor caught, the ship would have turned left, not right. Right? Everybody, I'm sure, seen the video, seen a clip of it. Turned right at the end before it hit. Now, how could that have happened? I don't know. If they already lost power and the ship was going one direction, and it didn't even really seem to change course until the very end, and it turned towards it. There's a lot of different things that come into play. Wind, current. Was the current different in that area? Was the wind? Did the wind pick up? I tried to look it up. Don't know. It's all, depends on slide. If the tide is coming in, if the tide's going out, there's a lot of different variables that kind of will steer the ship in a direction. But to make it move like that quick, and I understand a lot of them you see is kind of fast forward till it happens, but even that seemed like it was being steered by something else to make it go one direction, and literally, like, it looked like it was going, like, not saying it was going to miss it, but it was going, and it turned right after they dropped the port anchor. And if you think about it, if you drop something, so think of your arm, your left arm, as an anchor. You're walking past a pillar. You put your arm up as you're walking and you hit that pillar, it's going to turn your body to the left. It's the same thing an anchor is going to do if you drop it down on your left side of the ship, the port side, and it catches something underneath the water. It's going to pull it to the left, steer it away. Now, did the anchor get down fast enough to actually reach the bottom? If it would have caught, would the ass end would have swung around and actually hit it? Who knows? I don't know. I don't know all that stuff. Possibility, still could have happened. Is that what they actually did? I don't know. But here's one more little thing for that. The little black box that they keep talking about. They have this black box. It's not even black, but this box on the ship that records all the information that so they can pretty much, see the sequence of events. It records engine casualties, engine hours, wind speed, ship speed, all the communications, like pretty much records all information, right? As you're talking to somebody, like through the radio and stuff like that, it records it. And this piece of equipment has its a standalone power source. So even if this ship loses all power, it still functions. The important 2 minutes, let me say that again, 2 minutes of this event that happened miraculously. I don't even want to call it miraculously. Somehow, whatever word you want to use, those 2 minutes disappeared. They're not there. It didn't work for those 2 minutes. Sounds about right, government. Sounds about right. Lie to our faces some more. This is why I can't get over. I can't get past it. And I'm angry. I'm not angry about it. I'm upset because people have lost their lives because of this. If nobody got injured, nobody got hurt, I would probably be like, you're a goddamn liar. Fuck off. But nobody would care, right? Money's money. Things happen. I understand. But, and they're going to get me on a whole nother topic about the goddamn U.S. government, about things that our fearless leader told us about who's going to pay for it, but I'm not going to go down that wormhole. Apparently he redacted that statement. Redacted. Let's go ahead and redact that. FTK. On you, buddy. But anyways, no, for real. Yeah, that was a whole nother thing I'm not going to go down. But I'll share a little story with y'all before we get off here and kind of what I kind of think what should happen or what should have happened, right? Attached to a platform, to a ship that kind of is ran by military and civilian personnel, right? The civilian side of it is in charge of the safe navigation of the ship, all the different, engine room stuff, everything that goes down. That's the civilian side. Military side is in charge of just getting the military mission done. That's it. A few years ago, was on this ship. I'm not going to say a name. I'm sure most of y'all probably already know what it is. Had an incident, I guess you call, where 19 people could have lost their lives, if not more. Because of dumb choices, stupid mistakes. And I think that is part of what has happened here. Somebody made a decision that had no business making a decision, had no experience, no knowledge, no anything to make a call that they made. The people conducting this, I don't want to say had no knowledge of what they were doing, but a blind man could have seen that what they were doing was stupid. And they always say, you see some safe, what is it? Speak up. Don't just be quiet. Everybody's safety's over, all that bullshit. That's a fucking lie when I hear that shit. Because whenever you speak up and you say, hey, this isn't safe, or this isn't okay, you get told, sit down, shut the fuck up. We got to get this done. I don't want to hear that shit. So people making decisions that shouldn't be. And no offense, nothing to the people that, the civilian side of it that were working on this ship, the said ship, but they're fucking old. Like, I get it. That's their job. They're trying to make a paycheck. No, I'm not giving a dig on them for that. But these people, they're old. Late 70s, early 80s. Can't even fucking walk. Let alone go up and down stairs. Supposed to carry firearms on them. They're so old they won't even let them do that. They're not able to do what they used to. You're getting older. It happens. I can't do things I could do in my early 20s. We all know that kind of thing happens. So, common sense is a huge thing. There needs to be things set in place. The tug should have escorted that ship down, right? Should have been with it. I guarantee you that ship already had something wrong with it. Nobody wanted to pay for it, so they just put a Band-Aid on it and kept it pushing until this happened. I guarantee you there was already something wrong with that ship. That's why it lost power. I know there's inspections done and things like that, but we all know there's ways around these inspections. We all know even if things are not working properly, they're still going to write a piece of paper, sign, hey, this will get fixed or whatever. Go on with what the fuck you're doing. It happens all the time. We see it every day. We know shit's fucked up and it never gets fixed. Nobody wants to foot the bill for it. And if you think about it, the Dolly is owned by Singapore, a company in Singaporean owned, or is that even a word? I don't know. Owned by them. Denmark was renting it from that company, but it was a Japan organized thing. So it's okay, is the people that own the ship going to pay for this? They're probably going to say no. Well, think about that. If there was something wrong, they probably went to the company that owns it. It was hey, whatever, X, Y, and Z, this needs fixed. They were probably well, y'all are using it. Y'all had it. Y'all fix it. And then that company was probably hey, you're funding this, so y'all need to pay for this. And it was probably a fucking circle of point the finger, point the buck. No, you're paying for it. And they just put a Band-Aid on it to keep it making money. until they figured that out, or they just said F it. I'm telling you, it happens all the time, and that needs to stop. So certain things need to go into place with that. Like ships need to, I don't think you guys realize how shitty things are on the water and how at any moment, like, things could go bad fast, and how often it actually does that we just don't hear about it. It happens a lot more than what you would think. And the people that probably watch this that have been on ships will probably agree with me. Definitely been times where you just fucking use some duct tape and some bubble gum to patch a fucking leaking pipe. I know I've done it. Actual duct tape and bubble gum. But things like that need to change. Like I know there's rules. I know there's things in place. I know there's PPRs, but they need to fix them. They're probably old, outdated. There's a lot that could be done, that could have been done to make sure this didn't happen. But I'm going to let y'all go on this one. Have a happy Easter. I hope this one was a little bit better. I know the past ones, like I did the giveaway. Also, gonna have to do another one here soon. Not real soon, but we're gonna get some more shirts. A lot of people actually have been asking me for them. I'm gonna get you some. We're gonna figure it all out. We're gonna get it going. Some things are gonna change here pretty soon. A lot of stuff going on in my life. So yeah. Yeah, thank you guys for always tuning in, supporting the channel, and always shoot your shot. Peace.
Get paid, that's why I work every day. I'll be making money till I'm in my grave. Don't care what they say.